My purpose of creating this channel is to put myself out there. I started researching on YouTube, okay, what is architecture about? What does it mean to be an architect and stuff like that? And most of the content I was seeing was foreign driven. Basically, when I search on YouTube, for instance, on architecture in Nigeria or architecture students in Nigeria, the basic content I see most of the time, it's not really doing justice to what architecture is. A lot of people don't get a sense of what architecture is about in Nigeria. In a country where we are underpaid for our services, dive into the world of architecture and see what it's like being an architect. Hi, my name is Bonde Victor. I'm a graduate architect and this is my YouTube channel. Being my first video, I feel I should say that my purpose of creating this channel is to put myself out there, create a sort of community around architecture that is not just strictly for architects or student architects, but for every individual to dive into the world of architecture and see what it's like being an architect, being an architecture student and stuff like that. And I feel this is really missing in the Nigerian architecture industry. So outside of Nigeria and Africa, we have people like Damili, people like Tom, who do a lot in this aspect of architecture and creativity, whereby they mix lifestyle plus educational architectural content that is both educational and interesting. And I feel this is missing in the Nigerian and probably in the African, architectural context. Basically, when I search on YouTube, for instance, on architecture in Nigeria or architecture students in Nigeria, the basic content I see most of the time is this day in a life kind of content. And honestly, it's not really doing justice to what architecture is. A lot of people don't get a sense of what architecture is about in Nigeria. In a country where we are underpaid for our services, I mean, this is a global, challenge, but in a country where we are underpaid for our services and it requires a lot of struggle, a lot of stress, a lot of commitment to doing what we actually love doing, there is this little to no sense of understanding of what we do, and that is what I attempt on. That's a gap I attempt on bridging in my channel. My interest in content creation has actually been right since my second year of architecture school, where I actually invested in my first piece of equipment. So I bought a mic actually in my second year, and I did not actually start content creation in my second year because the next challenge was that I needed a camera, and as at the time the phone I was using couldn't do justice to content creation at all. There is this thing where they tell you just start with what you have, but trust me, there's a level to starting with what you have that was different from what I had back then. So basically, I couldn't start because I didn't have a proper camera to shoot my videos. So moving on to 300 level, when I did my IT, I thought that would be a time for me to also start content creation, whereby I can, sort of show what it's like being a student in the architectural industry and how to, transition yourself from academia to like real work practices. That didn't work too. So I was not ready for content creation, and not until the end of 2024, when I did my IT, did I get my phone. So I got an iPhone at the end of 2024, and I also got another mic. So right now you might be like, so what's the excuse? Why didn't I start since last 2 years? It's actually 2026 now. I don't know. Well, it's 2026 when I post this video. So 2 years ago, which was 2024, you must have been like, so what's the excuse now? Why didn't I start the channel then? And the environment for my IT wasn't just pleasing to sort of make content, whereby I had to struggle moving long distance to basically excuses. Let's just put it like that. I did not start on my third year of architecture school. On my fourth year, this is when content creation grew to the peak where I was like, okay, enough of my procrastination. It's time to actually like do something and start this thing, because if I don't start, I'll just keep procrastinating and procrastinating until this dream just died. And besides, people that I was around talking to about content creation, they're sort of like with motivation coming from me to them, they're sort of like kickstarted their journey, their content creation journey, and me giving out the motivation don't even have something to show for it. So this actually spoke to me, and I just needed to start. So my 4th year of architecture school, I joined a film and TV course. It was an entrepreneurship course in my school, and I volunteered to be a gear specialist, so controlling the cameras, the sound, and stuff like that, because I wanted to understand what it was like being behind the camera and in front of the camera. So doing both things, I didn't want to act at all. I wanted to understand what it takes to actually make good content. So like every other experience, it was a good one, but interesting enough, my role actually grew from handling the cameras and other gears to actually directing the movie. But the thing was that the editor didn't just edit the video. So right now, I still have a pending movie that hasn't been released because the editor is just so lazy for it. And honestly, it really pained me. I really thought maybe I'll have that movie out, right? Even though the movie is not mine, it felt personal because I actually put my time and effort into it. So I also worked on a music video where I sort of directed, right? Or let's just say I came up with the concept of how the music video should go, but I wasn't present to film, shoot, and edit that one at all. So yeah, that was it. I was ready to see results. I wanted something of mine to be edited and undergone post-production so I can see that okay, this is what I'm capable of producing. But I didn't just, I don't know, every time I just tried to achieve something in the creative aspect, it just keeps falling apart, and I really didn't understand this at all. Then luckily for me, I had siblings that were also sort of going into content creation and investing in gears. So with all the investment I've made over the past, I guess, 4 years, and the investment he is making right towards the content creation for the past like 2 years, I should say, here we are today. So there's really no excuse to like not pick up my phone and start recording. But it really is hard. I actually saw a video last year, 2025, and it was really talking about the whole lead poisoning that happened from 2010 to 2024. That has killed over 700 lives, mostly children from the age of 0 to 5. And that idea was kind of like bringing the built environment, creating awareness around the built environment, to the public. And I still plan on reshooting that video because it didn't turn out great at all. And I feel I didn't have the confidence I'm using to speak right now. I didn't have that confidence speaking to the camera back then. I don't know if this video is going to turn out good, but the way I'm shooting it is looking really nice. So so that has been me throughout uni, trying to navigate into content creation and while doing architecture. So what I intend on bringing to the table for you guys to enjoy is basically architecture with lifestyle and creativity, whereby I do interviews with students and graduate architects and sole architects and also architectural firms on how architecture is, probably touring buildings, doing a lot of things. Actually, I have a whole lot to unpack in this channel, and I'm really excited that this new year is going to be the year where I do a lot of things that I should have actually done in the past 4 years. So I'll be doing also things like going through my designs from my first year to my 4th year of architecture school, design process, talking about concepts, talking about the built environment, like the topic I did the other time, talking about the poisoning, those kind of interesting factual content. And so I'm doing sort of like a podcast with students and graduate architect vlogging, where I spend a day doing a certain task based on architecture. So this will be a content that is kind of like generic, whereby it's not just focused on just architecture. Is the main idea is to bring others to see the creativity and the journey and the process through architecture, which people, like I mentioned, outside Africa, outside Nigeria, are already doing. So let's just see how this goes, right? I have a lot to unpack for this channel, and I hope you guys are ready for me, because I'm finally ready to like put myself out there. And yeah, that will be it for today. So let me know your thoughts, what you would like to see from me. I'm an open canvas, right? But I have a structure in place. So whatever you would like to see from this channel, whatever you like to hear about, please leave it in the comments. Let this be an interactive community whereby you and I build this future where we can look back and be like, oh, I was part of this group. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys